currently partner of the Oilers Entertainment Group. He is Wayne Gretzky, back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Wayne?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing fine. I'm gonna roll the dice here. Do you remember that day when I met you on the practice range with my brother?
Yeah, I remember it clearly, and I do remember the bird down, but I didn't know exactly how the bird went down. And now the duck's out of the bag, so to speak. But it just happens to be in our area that we do get a lot of geese there and ducks, and unfortunately, I seen you putt, so I know there's no way that you were trying to hit the bird on purpose.
Well, I putt for dough, Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Just like
the only good news for you was that Dustin wasn't around then, that he would have saw it.
That's. I love that. What's it been like for you watching the Oilers play playoff games and winning, and everybody wearing an Edmonton jersey and the sweaters all over the place in Edmonton?
Yeah.
What's this been like for you, Wayne?
I've had a real absolute wonderful time. The hockey's been tremendous. Not just the Oilers, but playoffs throughout the National Hockey League. The intensity level seems to go up each and every year, and the play of the players from Crosby and Nash in New York and Lundqvist, our guy and Connor McDavid, and how Getzlaf played the other night for the Ducks. That's what makes our game so special. The playoffs get so much more intense. There's so much on the line, and each and every shift is played with a great deal of enthusiasm. So it's been great for hockey in North America. It's been great for Edmonton. We spent 10 years not in the playoffs, so I know the people in the city of Edmonton, and even for that matter in Alberta, are just ecstatic at the work ethic of this young team, and they're a great bunch of young men.
How good can McDavid be? What do you think?
Crosby's the barometer. He's got 2 Olympic golds. He's got 2 Stanley Cups. He's got, I don't know how many MVPs and scoring titles, but he's got a few of each. Until somebody takes that mantle away with him, he's the best player in the game, and he's proved it each year. And unfortunately, he got hurt the other night, and I thought he was playing probably better hockey than I've ever seen Crosby play, if that's imaginable, because he was just so dominant in the Columbus series, and he played so well the first 2 games in Washington. So, the game needs him back. But Connor, that's his barometer, and he has the ability, and he has the talent and the speed, and he's a wonderful young man who works hard and loves the game. So the sky is the limit for him, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is only his second year. He's only 20 years old, and I anticipate over the next 10 years he's going to have a tremendous run here.
Crosby's back on the ice today, and that's a good indication that he's going to get back on the ice once the puck drops. Do you think the hit on him was clean, Wayne?
Well, listen, first of all, it's a physical game, and there's going to be injuries, and that's the hard part of our game. And, one of the characteristics that my wife always says that people overlook is when she always thought that one of my greatest strengths was the art of not getting injured. And it's physical out there, and it's tough. And, I think that, as everyone said, it was a hockey play. I don't believe that the defenseman tried to go down and purposely cross-check him in the face or to the head area. It's just a reaction. It's a quick game. It's a fast game. And his record would indicate that he's not a dirty player. So you have to give the player the benefit of the doubt. He says it was a hockey play. You got to believe him.
And it's interesting that here you are back with the Oilers, and you're in Southern California, which you are credited with bringing the passion back to Southern California, if not bringing it to a fever pitch that allowed the Kings to survive and thrive. Mm-hmm. And yet your team has taken on a squad in Anaheim, which is as hockey crazed a town as I've ever been around. I mean, what do you think your contribution to hockey in Southern California is, Wayne?
Well, first of all, I was at the first 2 games, and as you said, it was tremendous. The atmosphere was just really hockey-related, and the fans were loud and boisterous and obviously tremendously backing their team. I thought the atmosphere was a great playoff hockey atmosphere. I've said this many times. I came into L.A., and we had guys like Luc Robitaille and Kelly Rudy and Marty McSorley and players that understood that we had to do more than just play hockey, that we had to get out in the communities and we had to get kids interested in youth hockey and get kids loving to play the game. Consequently, they'll love going to NHL games. And, then came along a guy by the name of Michael Eisner that decided out of the blue to do a hockey movie. And when he did a hockey movie, the Mighty Ducks, he decided, wow, this was a lot of fun. My son plays hockey. I should own an NHL team. So once Michael Eisner and ABC and Disney and all those people got behind the Ducks and the National Hockey League, the rest is history. And, you know, if you look at California now, San Jose, L.A., and Anaheim are three of the thriving franchises in all of the National Hockey League, and youth hockey seems to be expanding and getting bigger and bigger all the time. So I think everybody deserves a little bit of credit and the success of the sport of hockey and the National Hockey League in this area.
And yet it's been since 93, Wayne, that your home nation has hoisted Lord Stanley's Cup. Why do you think that's happened, Wayne?
Well, first of all, every time I hear it, it makes me mad because that was the year we lost.
Well, you know about
it's a craw on my side, but you know they were a better team and they deserved to win. But I don't know. You know, it's interesting. Last year, I said to a friend, I said, you know, you have all these Canadian teams and they're great franchises, and you have 7 Canadian teams, and I said, in 1995, if you would have said to a friend, you know, in 20 years, every Canadian team is going to miss the Stanley Cup playoffs, and you're going to have 3 teams from California and 2 from Florida that will be competing for the Stanley Cup out of 16 teams, nobody would have believed it. It's just we've gotten bigger and stronger, more worldly, and the game is getting bigger and stronger in the United States. So I think it's just a cycle right now. I think you're seeing the Canadian teams bounce back a little bit. This Austin Matthews happens to be one of the best young players I've seen come along in a long time, and he's in Toronto with a couple other young kids. So the Canadian teams are getting closer here, and I don't think it'll be too long before you see one of these Canadian teams lifting the Stanley Cup.
Wayne Gretzky here on the Rich Eisen Show. A friend of our show, Colin Hanks, who's a big L.A. Kings fan, Wayne, is doing a documentary that the curse of the Cup on Canada was born out of the Canadiens checking out Marty McSorley's stick in that aforementioned Cup final, and that the hockey gods frown upon that and has cursed the country. Wayne, what do you think about that?
Oh my goodness, I don't know if this is going to be as big as the Babe Ruth trade out of the Boston Red Sox. I don't think it'll go that far, but poor Marty. Marty's probably trying to sweep this under the carpet because every time he turns around, somebody's talking about checking of the stick. And as I've said many times, if it wasn't for Marty, we would never have got to the finals, and unfortunately that happened. But hey, listen, Talman loves hockey, and if he's got a theory, you know, that theory's as good as anyone. Yeah?
So you don't believe in any curses is what you're saying?
No, I don't. I just think the best teams usually win, and if you're a good team, you got a chance to win the Stanley Cup.
Okay. Well, look, enjoy it, Wayne. Appreciate you calling in. Enjoy the time. Love to have you here in studio next time you're in Southern California.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks for your support of the hockey in the National Hockey League. You guys have a great day.
You got it. That's Wayne Gretzky, Hall of Fame individual and Hall of Fame hockey player.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.
If you like that, please download our app. There's lots of fun things there other than just more of the videos you just saw. You can call us from the app. You can email us from the app. Just download it. Trust me, you'll enjoy it.